Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making an abstract watercolor art journal spread, and I'm using that journal I had a look recently on that I bought from the Action store. I was quite positively surprised about the paper, and today I'm just experimenting with the watercolors directly on that paper without any primer. I wanted to keep this spread a little bit more easy and not so complicated. So it's a bit more for beginners or maybe people who want to see if art journaling would be nice. And the watercolors I'm using are the Liang watercolors from Paul Rubens. I made a review video of those a few weeks ago, I think. It's the second Liang set I got from them, and the first one was with metallic paints in addition to the normal paints, and this one has some pastel paints and also a silver and a gold. I think in this set there are more watercolors than in the other. I like both of them. The watercolors are gorgeous. They are perfect, especially when you are have a look at the price of this box. I will give you all the information in the description, of course. I think it's a great way to start, especially if you don't have any watercolors. I would recommend getting something like that. And with the Liang, you get really nice watercolors which are transparent and not milky as some of the other cheap paints. The paper works super nice. I just used a clip to fix it on the edge so it does not buckle that much. And I really like how the paint sits on top of the paper. It does not sink into it, and that's what I like because you have a bit of a playtime and also the colors stay more vibrant. I'm working intuitively here. I try to make a balance between light and darker tones, and I also add some midtones, and I try to stay harmonic in my color range so that I don't mix a muddy color. I wanted to add some complementary color to make everything more interesting, and I decided to pick that bright pastel turquoise, which is a really lovely color, and I think it will work perfectly together with that orangey pink circle I already have on my page. Here I'm going in with a smaller brush and I just make some dots in that area. Some of them will bleed into the wet paint, some of them will stay because the background is already dry. I really like that mixture of both. I'm happy with the final result, but I want to add some dark splatters because I think that would really match the whole composition. And I try to keep those splatters more in that darker corner of the circle. And as I mentioned in the beginning, that watercolor set has some gold, metallic and silver paint. And I thought I would like some touches of gold in this composition. And here I'm going into the wet paint with the gold color. And I really like the result. And maybe you can see when it's dry how beautiful that looks. The gold is very opaque. I will also add some final details with it in the end. My page is completely dry now and I want to stamp some kind of a focal image to the circle. And I'm using an image from the pencil marks number 1. I was a bit afraid to stamp directly onto the paper because it is textured, but it works really pretty. And I'm quite happy with the result. The color is from StayZone, that teal color, which I found really matching that turquoisey color I already have on the page. I'm using 2 different kind of leaf stamps from that set to have a bit of a variety. I will also add some more stamping to the circle itself to bring in a bit more texture. And there is a little dot stamp on the same stamp set, and I'm using this together with pink StayZone ink. I think it's the fuchsia color. And I just stamp it over the circle. Not completely around, just in some areas. I have already collected some collage bits from my stash that are working with the colors, and here I have a pattern paper from a scrapbooking paper pad and some other bits from, I think that should be some of my jelly prints or leftover paint papers. And I'm arranging them underneath the leaves so they have something to grow out of. I'm going to adhere those with a glue stick. I also want to add a sentiment to the page, and I already picked out some words from my stash that I have stamped with the Mix a Sentiment stamp set. These are embossed in white to black cardstock, and I'm adhering them on top of the collage bits. I will now finish up the page with some splatters. I'm using the same colors that I've already on the page, the turquoise and some of the pink, and I will also add some final marks with that gold watercolor. I'm searching for a smaller brush with a more rounded tip because I wanted to create some kind of a circle shape with them, and there it's always nice to have a smaller brush. That gold watercolor is super opaque. I'm really surprised, and I really love that, and these accents you can add to your work. I will take a photo where you hopefully can see how opaque and shimmery it is. That was my page for today. I will leave you with some close-up photos. You will also find some close-up images over on my blog. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope we will see us next time. Bye!